Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Opinions Matter, and today this episode is going to get shot with three of my devices. Why? Because today it's going to be a very unique episode, because for the first time I'm going to compare the Osmo Pocket with a traditional or a very expensive Sony Rx 100. Now this is one of the premium point and shoot cameras there in the market. For test purposes, I did not select the RX 100 Mark IV or Mark V. I've selected an RX 100 Mark II. Now why RX 100 Mark II? Because RX 100 Mark II had this cold shoe mount where you can put an external microphone, and that's how most of my vlogs actually started long time back. And this camera is a 20 megapixel camera with a backlit sensor, illuminated sensor, aperture 1.8, has got zoom and all that stuff. Apart from that, the minimum focal distance on this guy is really small, but the lens is 28 millimeters. So what a good time to test this RX 100 compared to my DJI Osmo Pocket, which I'm shooting it. As you can see a small shadow of that tiny kind of a snake cobra falling on the left side of my shoulder. Yes, that is the reason we are going to do this test. And to get a third-person view, I'm going to use today my good old GoPro Hero 5 Session. I'm not going to go do a comparison between the Osmo Pocket and the GoPro, just because I have a different opinion on this, and then these are two different cameras, two different segments. You just cannot compare a 3-axis gimbal made for video kind of a camera for vlogging and stuff to an action camera. Why are YouTubers doing this? I really don't know, but that's the reason. To keep this channel honest, let's jump in. By the way guys, before I jump in and begin this episode, also I will let you guys know that I'm not going to use any sort of Joby Gorilla Prod on this. It's all going to be handheld. Doesn't have a flip out screen. The recent RX 100s have a flip out screen, but they're all the same megapixels. The Mark IV, 5 and the Mark 6 shoots 4K. This one does 1080, so we'll keep all the quality to 1080. Yes, this will excel in performance, but take a look into the results and this will be eye-opening for you. Alrighty, so this whole episode will be shot with this GoPro Hero Session. Then I'll be shooting some with the Sony, and then I'll be shooting some with my DJI Osmo Pocket. Audio will be here and there guys, so bear with me on the audio. Okay, so let's begin. Alrighty, so scenario number one, you are in the middle of the streets and you want to quickly vlog and stuff like that. And while you want to quickly vlog or anything, you take out your camera, your Sony RX 100, you press this top button, you get an articulating screen, and you're good to go. So easeability of use wins on the Sony RX 100 Mark V. And now see how easy it is to use the Osmo Pocket. Easeability of use, scenario number two. Again, you want to vlog something easily or take a video or anything, you press this button. This is a thing, you have to make sure you're tilted at the bottom, otherwise it's going to do like this. So fail. And now that's it, you're ready to go, point and shoot. That's easeability of use. When you're done, you just press this button and put it out here. That's it. This is kind of a vlog test for the Osmo Pocket. The audio is from Osmo Pocket. One hand distance, it maintains my face and actually tracks on my face. So that's one hand distance with Osmo Pocket. And in a test, we are doing a vlogging kind of a setup for the RX 100. As you can see, my length is around about 1 arm distance, because the minimum focal distance on the camera is around about an arm, and I'm literally holding it in my hand rather than holding with a stick, only because if I hold it with a stick, I wanted to hold it with a stick, but I'm like, now let's do like a run and gun kind of a setup. So let's check out the quality on this also. Though the RX 100 is supposed to be a little bit easy or anything, there are a couple of settings that you need to go through before you make sure you're doing this. So you go to you can keep everything in auto, but you need to go through menu and stuff like that. So let's stop the video and let's go to menu and select your file format and stuff like that. And long exposure noise reduction should be on if you want to. You can go through all of this. So this is all you need to go through while you're doing this.
and then you can actually do smile and face detect on registered faces, and then you can do face registration. In this way, the tracking on the Sony RX100 Mark II, Mark III, Mark V, and Mark VI, which is coming up, will be way more better if you do this smile and face detect kind of on. Otherwise, let's see what's the result.
Now the aperture 1.8 on the Sony RX100 is incredibly crazy. Since it's a variable aperture, you can actually do something like this. Let's demonstrate. So you can go from aperture 1.8 all the way to aperture 11. So what does that mean? Let me demonstrate you. Movie recording is on 1.8, aperture 4, and then we can move and get a lot of big aperture also. So variable aperture is available on point and shoot, especially Sony RX100. Okay, so in pro mode, as you can see, I can only control the frame rates. I can actually go into pro, and after that I can select format. I will be out here, and in manual mode I can control only the ISO, and I can control the shutter speed. That's pretty much it. I cannot control aperture, so there is no variable aperture. The aperture is fixed to aperture 2.0, which I think is okay for, you know, like vlogging and regular day videography. So it's more like a videography kind of a camera. Yes, you can take amazing pictures, bokeh related, but if you want, like, you know, like aperture 11, aperture 8, I think the winner is clearly our Sony RX100. You're going to check the background, you're going to check the details, and you're going to check the highlights. I'm going to move from shade to the sunlight. When I move from shade to sunlight, check how it actually does the exposure settings and everything automatically. I'm not going to go to manual because this is kind of a consumer kind of a setup. So in manual, it's a pro setup. I will do it in another episode, but this episode is auto only. So check out the backgrounds on both of the sides, and check out yes, stability. As you will see, my hands are shaking, so stability is not even a question on the Zeiss. It's all about details, highlights and shadows, and how it actually changes according to exposure. So same stuff. I'm actually having the face track is actually on, and with the face track on, check out the background, the shadows. I'm holding at a one-hand distance, as you can see through my GoPro, and kept it outside the minimum focal distance, and I'm walking. Check out the backgrounds, highlights and shadows, and see the exposure that falls on my skin. So how automatically it adjusts the exposure to this brighter clothes also, and to the background. So check that out in 30 seconds, and I'm going to walk into shadows a bit and check how it actually intelligently does it. Alright guys, do let me know what you think about the difference between the Sony RX100 compared to the Dji Osmo Pocket. It's too small a time to, you know, highlight all the differences, but I find major difference when a person is vlogging, major difference when a person is traveling, is portability, stability and audio quality. Portability, stability, audio quality, Osmo Pockets wins in all of these three categories. On the contrary, Sony RX100 still remains one of the pro form of you know, point and shoot cameras. Good for travel, good for vlogs. Yes, it's more versatile because it gives you that zoom option to go from 24 to 105 if you are selecting the RX100 Mark 6, I think so, and you're 24 to 70 if you are selecting the cheaper version of the Mark 5. So pretty much you know, like I think that both of these are really good cameras, but on some aspect I think Osmo Pocket has an edge, and it's just because this is a 3-axis gimbal. Yeah, so which means that it's 3-axis gimbal, which means that in that way you can actually turn it around and do a lot of creative stuff. So if you like this video and presentation, give me a big thumbs up, like, and do subscribe to the small button out there. Thank you CX, thank you Ice Poseidon, thank you Tech5, thank you all of you supporters who are supporting this channel. So take care.